In musical theater, the recurring question is, which comes first, the words or the music? But in the case of In Your Arms, the answer was clear to composer Stephen Flaherty.
It really started with the words of the playwright, which oddly in this piece you never get to hear. So it's a very exciting and unusual and unique piece.
Unusual because In Your Arms commissioned 10 American playwrights to write on the theme of romantic destiny, and then replace their written words with a vocabulary of dance and music.
It started from their imaginings of who these characters might be and what culture they might live in, what time. That was really the jumping off point for me, and then I had to find a musical vocabulary to interpret each of these very unique and specific worlds. So basically this show, every aspect of it is from scratch.
Which meant that for dancers like Donna McKechnie, they were dealing with changes on a daily basis during rehearsals.
Yeah, this is like literally off the press, you know. There is an ending that's different than the one we did today. Isn't that fun? Because we didn't have time to put an ending on it. But it'll have a different ending in that scene. And I can't wait to learn it.
There was a learning curve for everyone as each vignette developed a life of its own. For Alfred Urey's Love with the Top Down, Flaherty decided to compose moments of silence.
It starts with two kids in Lover's Lane, and they're in a convertible. And it's about really the awkwardness between moments, like when do I put my hand over, when do I try to kiss her now, or do I wait? And originally it was more through composed, and then we began to think, no, it's got to be about those awkward pauses. And so we actually began scoring that in and using them in a way to make a point.
So it was carefully constructed to figure out when those moments are, but also, like as in the Urey piece, we also found that silence was our friend and lack of movement, because what your body even naturally just does in a situation like that. People tend to stop or tense, or they're left frozen in a situation. So that was really fun to play with too.
But music and movement also became the elements that tied all the different sets of lovers together.
So I had to find a way musically to create really a really diverse palette of 10 different musical worlds. But at the same time I had to find a filament that stitches them together, that binds them together.
There's one theme that we kind of bookend the show with, and that is Terrence McNally wrote a beautiful piece about two older ex-dancers. And they look back on their life together, and it's a long walk down a beach. So we open the show with that kind of idea that she's in this place of love and has to kind of come through it. And she does, remembering how they used to dance, and that kind of takes us through the piece, and we end with them.
Each couple, even though they're very unique and there's specific genders, specific cultures, specific time period, they could all actually be the same couple, morphing in different ways through time.
With dance and music providing a universal language to weave all these stories together.
We could do this exact same show anywhere, and people will be just as touched, they will understand it just as much, because there isn't a barrier of any kind. It's truly this universal language, and that it's great.
In Your Arms serves up an exploration of love that requires no translation. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.